All right, you guys guessed it. I have come to the industry leader, Superior Engineering, because I want to build the best off-road wheeling car possible, and I had to come here. Today, we're putting in the 4-inch Hyperflex kit, but before we get into any of that, we do need to do some pre-mechanical checks. So let's get her on the road, do our drive test, and then put her on the hoist. Let's get going. All right, everyone meet Michael.
How you doing?
So what Michael is doing is taking the car for like, what I kind of say is like a pre-hoist check. Essentially, when you bring your car to Superior and you get any work done to it, you want to be able to leave with the reassurance that nothing's been changed, nothing's been broken, and this is their way of testing that, so that if there was any, I don't know, we'll give an extreme example, like a noise from the gearbox that came up immediately after you're at Superior, you can be sure that your car didn't go for a joyride and nothing's happened. That was an issue that you actually drove it in with. So this is their way of basically giving some assurances.
Yep.
So that everything is sound and safe, and also lets the mechanic that's about to pull the car apart in a really big way be able to have a feel as to what the car is doing prior to him putting all the upgrades into it.
Yeah, just to check if anything's broken before we start playing with things and having a look at everything. But,
man of many words.
Yes, basically.
I've been waiting to have a really capable, I want the tool, I've been waiting this moment to have what I like to call, like, you know, when a chippy has the tools in the tool belt for the job, to be able to take on anything off-road.
Yeah.
I finally feel like that today I'm getting that tool in my tool belt that's going to let me attack the track, basically.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited. I meant for that to rhyme as well. I just wanted to impress Michael.
Always.
So the kit that we're going to be putting into the car today is the 4-inch Hyperflex kit. Now this kit is available for pretty much all coil-sprung solid axle vehicles. And the benefit with this kit is that you get everything that you need for the car to drive as it should. And what I mean by that is that your car is able to get back to its factory wheel alignment specs just with your new kit in it. So now that we've gotten the car into the shed and up on the hoist, it's time to start pulling it apart. And as we're pulling it apart, we noticed a couple of interesting damages that I've seemed to have copped along the way in wheeling it. One of the mounts for my rear arms was quite caved in, I have to say. Not too bad that it needed to be rebuilt, but definitely impacted and damaged. And also, we found that one of my rear shocks had absolutely no tension left in it. It's just completely void. It's just, I've just been carrying it around for almost no reason. And we have some clips of that, so I'll show it to you. This is why trying to wheel a car on factory gear just doesn't suffice. And you need to go with that high performance stuff, and we've definitely opted for that today. Guys, I've been doing YouTube for a hot minute and I've learned a lot, like heaps, okay? But I'm still so humble to the fact that I don't know everything, and I really encourage you guys. Superior has never judged me, not a single mechanic. I just went and asked one of the dumbest questions and they answer it as if they just have this really, you know, user-friendly textbook answer, and then it broke it down and explained it to me. Anyway, I feel like I say this a lot, like you should ask questions and you should lean in to try to learn, especially if it's something that you're buying and that you're getting. I want to get the full use out of it. Don't be ashamed to ask dumb questions. So now that we've gotten the radius arms out of the car, we need to make just a really small modification to the Cruiser, which is actually just cutting off one of the tabs that the sway bar mounts to. It's not needed to keep, and it's better to just clean up the area, because my new radius arms actually has that tab included onto it for you to mount to. And my new radius arms are full of quality. They're actually made out of a material called Biz 80. And if you hear anyone say anything about Biz 80, you want to sort of think of the same material that they make excavator buckets out of. Rest assured, it's very strong. And now they're ready to go in the car. Okay, so let me fill you in on what this kit doesn't come with, and I'm going to explain why. So what this kit doesn't come with is your front steering arms and your tire rods. The reason being is without these parts, you can still bring the car back to its factory wheel alignment specs, and you can drive around and you can enjoy the kit. But in my opinion, when you're putting in a kit like this, you're going for that ultra high off-road performance. And if you're going to be over-engineering everything and driving it in these really harsh off-road environments, I think that the next weakest link is probably going to be the thing that bends. So I really believe in building a car once and building it right, and not allowing anything to let you down in the future, especially when you're in the middle of nowhere. So if you were going to replicate what I was doing, do what I did. Come in and get your front steering arms and your tire rods all in one so that you can trust that everything's got your back. But what I want you guys to know is that you can still drive away with this kit. Your car will perform amazingly. You'll still come back to your factory wheel alignment specs as it sits with this kit that's reflective on the website.
If you haven't been watching much about the build and the production of the 105, you probably don't know, but my car's actually a 99 model, quite old. Seemingly this car's never been off-road, as they say when you buy it. And I'm starting to think that maybe he was completely telling the truth. Because if these bushes have never been changed since 99, and in comparison to some of the bushes that I saw in the car, I'm starting to think that maybe they've never been changed from factory. So they're actually not that bad, and honestly, my gut's telling me that the damage that I can see that these do have is probably in the last couple of weeks since I've actually owned the car. Don't you reckon?
Moving through the front end, now we're going to be putting in the upgraded steering arm and the steering dampener. The really good thing about these steering dampeners is that they're quite stiff. When you build a car of this size, you really want that on-road stability, especially considering that it's a solid axle, and you can kind of lose that on-road comfort when you're not driving an IFS. So the steering dampener is going to be able to bring that comfortability back. And what I also love about the steering dampeners is that Superior allows them to be serviceable. So if you need to get them adjusted, you've had them for a really long time, they've had a beating of a lifetime, it might take you 10 years until it needs to be serviced, but they can be serviced and revalved so that your car can stay feeling comfortable forever. Okay, this part I think is really cool. Honestly, I actually just think that it's a massive flex by Superior. Let's talk about warranty for a second. So when you get a kit like this, your coils have a 3-year warranty on them. Your shocks have a 2-year warranty on them. You're never gonna need to use your warranty on your shocks. Shocks do come with servicing and you should take care of them the way that they need, especially if they're gonna get a beating. But the warranty is there in those extremely rare, I've never even heard of one, circumstances that seem to happen in someone's dreams, a friend of a friend of a cousin of a friend, okay? But what I really like is all of the arms that you get in this kit have a lifetime warranty against bending. That's a massive flex by Superior in my opinion. To put a lifetime warranty on something is basically telling me that it's just unbendable. So next is something pretty interesting. We're actually going to be putting in the shaft spacer into the car. It looks really pretty, but what it actually does is that when your car is on full flex, there's no strain on your drive shaft, so that you can have that smooth and easy rotation with no point of resistance, the way that it operates when it's factory. And then we're also going to be putting in the panards. These panards are completely upgraded, super strong, and you know that I love a strong material. It's actually made out of chromoly. And once again, if you think of chromoly, just think of strength. Okay, so with this kit, they've made it as easy as possible if you were to want to put this in at home and nothing can get missed. Instead of scrolling through the website and trying to do the research and make sure that you don't miss anything, if you just go and opt for the kit, it's going to give you everything that you need, because I understand somebody that used to DIY, fit things in the garage at home. There's always something that gets missed and the car isn't able to drive away that day. But this kit's going to give you all those little bits and pieces so that your car is ready to drive the moment that you're finished. So now we're getting to the point where we want to put the 100 series under a little bit of a test. But in order to do that, we need to quickly get in the brake line extensions. We need to get in the rear control arms and the rear trailing arms.
Okay, so the car is being worked on at the moment, but something really cool is about to happen, and I know you're gonna love this, because I can't be the only one that's excited to see this go down. Some things have gone in and still a few more things to do, but what we're not going to do is we're not gonna put in the new shocks. There's a reason. We're gonna leave the factory shocks in. We're gonna run a little bit of a test and we're gonna document it. We're gonna put the car back together again, drive it back out to the front of the driveway, and in the driveway the boys have a forklift. And we're going to unbolt the bottom mount of the factory shocks and we're going to flex it up. What that's going to mean is there's going to be absolutely no resistance, and we're going to be able to get the flex capacity out of the car. Measure from the bottom mounting point to the top mounting point of the shock, and then be able to see what really is the biggest shock that you can get into a 105 series Landcruiser when there is no point of resistance in the car, because we've made all of the upgrades in all of the other areas.
So I know all of you guys are sitting on the edge of your seat wondering, Bridget's building a wheeling machine. Is she going to delete her sway bars to try to get more performance off-road? I'm not, because you don't have to, okay? The thing with the 100 series sway bars is that they're typically quite long and they're quite good. With a little bit of an upgrade, which does come in this kit, you can get that performance off-road. And all you need to do is just put in some sway bar extensions, which we're putting into the car now, and I'm gonna leave them in the car. And I promise you guys, I used to have a 105, okay? It does not affect its ability to absolutely perform off-road, and I'm gonna be able to show it to you. All right, next up, let's talk about the coils, or in better words, the best coils for you. Now this is the thing, when you buy this kit online, I really do believe that it's best to call Superior and let them know what your car's job is, what your car's weights are, what your build procedure is. Obviously my car's weights are gonna change, but I know where my car's gonna end up. So I've gone and picked my coil ratings to suit my car's needs and where my build is about to go. And that's the same with your shocks as well. If you guys wanna get your shocks tuned to be perfect for you and for your ride, it's best to just give them a call. These calls are free and it allows you to make sure that your money is well spent to suit exactly what your car is going to do, and you won't regret it. Okay, now it is the moment, the data collecting moment, and probably one of the pivotal moments of the day, that we're actually able to measure what the car has flexed to, which I knew it was gonna be a big number. I didn't think it was gonna be this big, and I just had to Google how tall a wheelie bin was to make sure that we could get a wheelie bin under it, and we have absolutely knocked that out of the park, okay? A wheelie bin comes in around 1.1 tall. My car flexed out to the bottom of the rear tire to the ground at 1.2 goddamn meters, which I'm so proud of. But remember, that's with no point of resistance. But what the benefit of doing this is that we're able to measure from the bottom mounting point to the top mounting point what shock capacity or what shock size we're able to put into the car. Because this is the thing when you order from Superior, yes, you can get a kit, but you can get a shock to suit the performance or suit your car's needs. And for me, the brief that I gave Superior was I wanted the most travel possible, because that's what I'm going for off-road. And by running a test like this has allowed us to figure out which shock is best for the car to give me that maximum drop and maximum travel capacity when I go wheeling next. Now that we've flexed out with no point of resistance, we're able to measure from the bottom mounting point to the top. And the numbers that we came to left us with this answer. I'm able to get into this car a 7-inch shock, which is going to give us 12 inches of shock travel, which is a massive amount of off-road travel. So with shocks like this is going to be an absolute game changer off-road. I really don't think that I'm going to be able to find a wombat hole that's big enough that's going to challenge this car beyond what its capabilities are. All right, do you want to know the cherry on top of this entire episode? The thing about this kit is that this kit is completely legal and engineered by Superior in Queensland. The way that you do that is this. If you guys buy the kit yourself, you get it certified, installed, or you get it installed here, all you need to do is call up Superior and say, hey guys, I want to get my car engineered for the kit, the 4-inch Hyperflex kit. You bring your car back in, Superior engineers it, and now you can drive it around completely legal with a monster of a machine and go and enjoy it off-road and drive it to the track and not have any trouble getting there. So as the Superior boys are ticking away and getting muscling the shocks into the car, I have to say, it's time to mount the remote reses into their perfect location so that we don't get any fouling or touching on anything. And then we're able to move into the home stretch, which is just all the bits and pieces that are included in this kit. Things like your brake line extensions, your bump stops. These are all things that you're gonna get as well. I did opt for wanting a diff guard too. I think that it's something that's really important off-road. And seeing as though I'm in here, I just want that one-stop shop and get everything that I need so the car is ready to go literally tomorrow because I want to test it. So after a solid effort from the Superior boys, we're really almost out the door. And the last thing that's needed to do is just put in firstly my diff breather extensions and then put the car into the 4-post, check all of the bolts, tighten everything, give it a wheel alignment and take it for a test drive. This is something that Superior is going to do just to make sure that everything's settled right, everything's operating correctly, make some adjustments to my steering. Obviously you need to make adjustments to steering and your wheel alignment if you're going to change anything with suspension. So being the one-stop shop that they are, basically by the time I'm going to get the car back, it's going to be ready to go. All right, so this is the thing about me. I've been touring and driving off-road for long enough now that it's time that I have the tool in my tool belt to be able to take on anything that I'm brave enough to do so. And a kit like this is going to be able to let me do that. I've been waiting for a really long time to have a seriously high-grade performance kit that there is no track that I can't point my car down and try to execute. And this is the kit that's going to give me that. And I'm really excited for you guys to get your hands on a kit like this as well. Now, this is the thing. I know that when you think of top tier maximum performance, I understand that the alarm bells of money do ring, because you can't go for a professional level of any sport and not invest some of your money into it. So in my opinion, it comes down to this. We all start somewhere where we just build our cars off Facebook Marketplace and hope that it works for us, and it doesn't, and it breaks, and then you're fixing it and fixing it. I'm a little bit older. I really want to get out there and be able to take on Australia's toughest tracks, and I'm all about safety. You guys know this about me. I don't want to deal with being out on a track and something's broken and my car can't drive me home at the end of the day, and I put myself or my cars at risk. This is why I come to Superior. With their warranties, with their servicing, and with their customer service, I know that I'm going to be able to be safe out on the track while pushing the limits and trying to step out of my comfort zone and hit tracks that just get harder and harder every day. So if you guys want to be someone like me that does want to get out there and go forward driving, you do want to go for that high performance off-road kit, but you want a kit that you can trust, that's going to have your back every time you turn the key, in my high recommendation, I would pick this kit. It's not my first kit by Superior, and it will not be my last. And you're probably sitting there thinking, Bridget, that's rich coming from you. You haven't even driven it yet. I understand that. What do you think I'm going to be doing tomorrow? We definitely shouldn't be going to Glasshouse right now. We definitely shouldn't be here right now. I definitely shouldn't be having this much fun right now. This car's doing so good. We definitely shouldn't be finding some mud right now. This car feels sick. Like, this is only really a small test. It's not really, I need more time with it, but just having a feel, flexing it around, playing around with it. Yeah, I actually am struggling to get it to lift a wheel. And the wombat holes out here at Glassy are fairly big. There's been rain today as well, and I can't seem to find something big enough to get it to lift a wheel off the ground, which is something that I've never had before. The sun is going down. I should end the episode, but I'm not. So let's keep going.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. I promise this time this is actually the end of this episode. I just couldn't help myself, like a kid with a new toy. I wanted to go and test it, and now I need to go to bed because I have a forward driving show tomorrow. But I'm not going to leave it there. I do want to take it one step further. If you know me, I love a good bonus episode. The next episode off the back of this one, I'm going to be taking this on a dedicated forward driving episode. I don't want to tell you where, but trust me, you're going to want to join back in the next couple of weeks. I'll see you in the next one.